And we're going to look at a variety of hands involving setting up a long suit, both in no trump and in a suit contract. So let's have a look at this one here, where you've got 15 points and you open one club. If you were playing strong no trump, you would probably open that one no trump, 15 to 17. But playing weak no trump, 12 to 14, you bid one club, and then when your partner responds one diamond, you rebid one no trump, and your partner takes you to three no trump, and that ends the bidding. And the opponents lead a spade, the seven of spades. So as is usual in a no trump contract, we'll start by counting our top tricks. So we've got two spades, one heart, two diamonds, and two clubs. So we start off with 7 top tricks on this one. And I hope you can see that the best chance to make more tricks is here in diamonds. We have 8 diamonds between Dummy and myself. And as long as the diamonds divide 3-2, which is the normal distribution, we should be able to make some more tricks there. So the best thing to do here is to keep that king of spades in dummy, because you're very short of entries to the north hand. So win that one with the ace and immediately turn to the diamonds, play one round, play another round. And when everyone has followed to that, you now know there's just one diamond out, but you can just play another diamond, let them win that one. But whatever they play, if they play a spade, for example, you've got the entry to dummy, and you can now cash 3 diamonds. And then take the rest of your tricks, take your clubs, your heart, and you'll probably lose the last 2 tricks, but you'll make 10 tricks on that one. So that one was relatively straightforward. Let's have a look at a slightly different hand. This time your partner opens with a weak 2 diamonds, and let's suppose you bid 3 no trump. It's hard to know what else you might bid there, but you do have 18 points. So you bid 3 no trump, and they lead a spade this time. And this hand is a bit similar to the last one, except you don't have any entries to the north hand outside of the diamond suit. So again, we've got 2 spades, 1 heart, 2 diamonds, and 2 clubs. So we have 7 tricks, and we're going to try to set up some diamond tricks. So we'll win the first one. And when we play diamonds, what we have to do is to lose the first trick. So if I click on the GIB button, it's telling you that if you now play the ace or the king, you can be defeated by 1 trick. But if you play a low diamond, you can make an over trick. So that's what we're going to do. We need to keep thinking about how we're going to get to the diamonds, and that's why we duck the first one. We're always going to lose 1 trick. But whatever they play now, if it's a spade, we now cross to the ace of diamonds, and now the diamonds are good. So we've played 2 rounds, and we can just cash the king of diamonds and throw off our losers there. And in the end, we'll make 10 tricks again, I think. So that was similar to the last one, but you have to lose a diamond early on because you have no other entries to the north hand. Do stop me if you have any questions about this. Let's have a look at this one. This time we're in a suit contract. We opened 2 spades, a weak 2 spades, and my partner raised me to 4 spades. And I can see he's got a very nice hand for me. If we look at the potential losers we have, we're in danger of losing a heart, and at least a couple of clubs. But what we're going to try and do is set up that diamond suit, and that will provide hopefully easily enough tricks for me to make my contract. So it's similar to the other one in no trump, but this time, because I've got a doubleton opposite the ace king there, I don't have to lose any diamonds. I can ruff a 3rd round of diamonds, and in doing so set up the suit. So let's see how it goes. Let's suppose we win the first trick, and there are different orders in which you could play this, but let's suppose we play the ace and the king of diamonds first. And if everyone follows to that, we're now in great shape because there's just one diamond out and it's a high one. But when we lead our last diamond, we can ruff it. And of course, we're going to ruff high because we've got the ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9. So we can afford to ruff high so that it can't be over-ruffed. That wins the trick and also sets up the diamond. So now all I want to do is to draw trump, making sure I end up in dummy. So I'll start here winning the king, play another one. And if I'm counting the trump, there's still one trump out. So I'm going to draw it with the ace. And now I can cash my 3 diamonds, discarding clubs there. I can now play a club, which I will ruff, play another spade. And in the end, I'm going to lose a heart trick, but I end up making 12 tricks there. So I was able to set up the diamonds and throw away my losers. So whenever you have a long suit, it's often worth thinking about, can you set that up? Can you make some extra tricks in that suit? Let's have a look at one more. And this time we're in a 4 heart contract. My partner who opened the bidding 1 diamond. I bid a heart. There was a 1 spade overcall. North jumped to 3 hearts. So that should show something like 16 points or so. And I accepted the invitation and we ended up in 4 hearts. And the opponents lead the ace of spades. And this is the time to make a plan. And you can either look at this hand from your own hand's point of view, or sometimes, especially if you have equal trump length, it can be easier to plan this hand from the point of view of north hand. And I think that is the case on this hand. And in fact, that's the question for you. Looking at this from the point of view of north, how many losers do you think you have altogether? So I'm going to launch a poll in a moment. And the question is, looking at this hand from the point of view of north, but taking into account all the strength in your hand, how many likely losers do you have there? Have a little think about it. And here comes the first poll of the afternoon. How many losers do you think you probably have? Looking at it from the point of view of north. Look. And most of you have gone for 3, with one person going for 2 and one for 4. So let's switch back and have a look at it. Yes, it looks on the face of it like I should just lose 2 spades and the ace of diamonds to me. So looking at it from the point of view of north, I'm only going to lose 2 tricks because I can ruff after that. And I've got the ace of diamonds to lose. I'm not going to lose any hearts and not lose any clubs. So yes, it looks on the face of it like I should just make 4 hearts. But let's see how this goes. They leave the ace of spades. East plays the jack, which looks like it was an encouraging signal. So he plays the king, and East follows up with the 5. So he was encouraging. Presumably, he's in a position to ruff a 3rd round. So if they lead another spade, I'm going to ruff in dummy. And of course, I want to ruff high. I want to ruff with the ace, king, or queen, so it can't get over-ruffed. And so far, so good. And now what? Well, let's suppose you next try to draw trumps. And we play 1 round, everyone follows. We play the ace, and everyone follows. So there's 1 more trump out. And let's suppose we draw that. Okay. And that's all the trump gone. But what happens now if we now play diamonds and West wins the ace? West is in the position that they can actually play another spade and defeat me by taking another spade trick, because I've got no more trumps left in dummy. So after that, if he plays another spade, I can ruff, and now the rest of the hand is good, but I'll be defeated and only make 9 tricks on that one. So what went wrong on that? Was there anything I could have done differently? Well, let's replay this again. And again, we get to the point where they've cashed 2 spades. They play a 3rd spade, which we ruff. And you have to now realize that it's going to take 3 rounds of trump, presumably, to draw the opponent's trumps. And if you do that first, before you've established a diamond suit, then we've seen what can go wrong, that they'll be able to cash 1 more spade. So what you want to do on this hand is delay drawing that last trump until you've set up your diamond suit. So what you might do is play the king and then play another heart over to the 10. Now there's still a trump out, and although you'd like to draw it, you want to force out the ace of diamonds first. So very often, if you have a side suit you want to set up, as in this case, you may want to set that up first before you've got rid of your last trump from dummy there. So I'm going to play a diamond here. Obviously, playing diamonds while there's still a trump out gives you a slight risk of there being a ruff, but it is the best chance you've got here. So if they take their ace, and if they now play another spade, you can now ruff that in dummy, and you still want to draw that last trump. So cross to your hand with the king of clubs, and now draw that last trump, and now you'll make the rest. You'll make your diamonds and your clubs. So played that way, you should be able to make your 10 tricks, just losing 2 spades and the ace of diamonds. When we played it before, we actually lost 3 spades because we ran out of trump in the north hand. However, the other thing I'll say is this hand is definitely, I think, easier to plan from the point of view of the north hand, because the north hand is stronger. If you look at this from the south hand's point of view, then you've got to think about how to get rid of those spades by ruffing or whatever. But this one is easier to plan, but you need to just delay drawing that last trump until you've established the diamond suit. Do let me know if you have any questions about this. And let's try one more. Here you've opened 2 spades, that's a weak 2, and your partner takes you to 4 spades. The opponents lead the king of diamonds, and down comes a very nice dummy for you. And you can see that although you have some potential losers here in hearts and in diamonds, you have that club suit. And if you could establish that club suit, that would provide some extra tricks. So what I'd like you to do is think about how many tricks you expect to make here. So you've got 8 clubs between you and dummy, 6 in dummy, 2 in your own hand. If the missing clubs divide 3, 2, how many tricks altogether do you think you'll be able to make? So have a little think about that. Imagine the clubs are divided 3, 2, and think about how many tricks you hope to make altogether. And that's going to be the subject of the second poll. If the clubs divide normally, how many tricks do you expect to make here? You've gone for 10, 11, 12, and 13. So let's switch back and see what we think. So we can sort of count our tricks here. We expect to make 6 spades, and we've got 1 heart and 1 diamond. And then in clubs, we've got the ace king, but I think with that 6-2 distribution we have, as long as the missing clubs divide 3-2, we should be able to ruff that suit once, and then all the clubs after that will be good. So if you count it, I'm going to count that I'm hoping to make a total of 5 club tricks. 1 I'm going to ruff, but the rest of them will all be good. So if I can make 5 clubs and 6 spades, and I've got 2 aces, I hope to make 13 tricks. Yes, with normal distribution, you should manage 13 tricks. In fact, when this hand was played, no one did manage 13 tricks. but let's just replay it and see if we can do it. So we'll win that first trick. Now, again, there are slightly different orders in which you could do this. We have, outside of the trump suit, we have an entry to the dummy with the ace of hearts. So you may just start off drawing trumps with the ace, and then the queen lets overtake that so that we can draw that last trump, throwing away a diamond because we're keeping those valuable clubs. And now the trumps are gone, let's try the clubs. We'll play the club, play a club over to the ace, and when that wins the trick and everyone follows, the rest of the clubs are now good once we've roughed one more round. So we'll play another club, rough that one, and now we can cross back to dummy with the ace of hearts. And yes, now we can cash 3 club tricks and we can discard all our losers. And yes, you should be able to make 13 tricks on that. So the power of those long suits, you know, in no trump or in a suit contract here, you should really not overlook that and realize that just by roughing once, you can make lots of club tricks. In fact, you can make all 13 there. Any questions on that? Let's try the last hand today. And this time you're in a spade contract. You open one spade here and it goes pass, pass. So you know your partner is pretty weak, double. But you come in with your second suit. You've got very nice distribution, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. Your partner supports you with 2 spades there. Pass, pass, 3 diamonds. Pass, pass, and let's suppose you bid 3 spades here. You do have very good distribution. And the opponents start off with a diamond, and you can see your partner's got very little for you, as you expected, just 3 points, but he does have 3 card support for you. So you need to stop and make a plan here. And in a suit contract here, it's normal to look at your losers. And it seems I'm going to lose 2 hearts and a diamond. Hopefully not going to lose any spades. And the question is, can I avoid any club losers? So this time, the long suit that we're going to try to set up is in our hand rather than dummy. But similar process applies. You need to think about how many clubs you have between you and dummy, which is 7 here. How many the opponents have? How are they likely to be divided? And the final poll question for you is, how many times do you plan to rough clubs here when you're playing this hand? So let's suppose the opponents take the first diamond and carry on with another diamond and you rough. The question is, how can you best play the clubs? And how many times do you plan to rough a club in dummy? So that's the final poll of the afternoon. How many times do you plan to rough clubs in dummy here? Assuming there's normal distribution of the clubs, how many times we expect to rough clubs? Okay, let's have a look at what you've put. And most of you have gone for 1, with some people saying 2 and one person saying 1. So saying none. So let's have a think about this. We have 7 clubs between us, and the best distribution that we could hope for is that the missing 6 clubs are divided 3-3. And if that's the case, we've got 5 top club tricks. When we play the ace, king, queen, all the clubs will fall, and we can make the 4 and the 3 as well. But the 3-3 distribution is not the most likely. 4-2 distribution is more likely. And if they are divided 4-2, yes, we would expect to rough once. Okay. If we were very unlucky and they were divided 5, they were divided 5-1, for example, then you might have to rough twice. But the normal distributions are 4-2 or 3-3. you can avoid any club loser by ruffing once. And that's a good line to try. So after we've won that for diamond trick, let's start on the clubs, playing the ace and the king. And if that holds the trick and is not ruffed, now we're going to ruff just once. We're going to play another club, and okay, we were prepared here to ruff high, as it is West has ruffed, but we're still going to over ruff, and East follows. And now the clubs are good. The clubs basically divided 4-2, which is the most likely distribution. So East has still got a club, but that's going to fall under the queen. So now all we want to do is draw trump. So we'll start with the queen over to the ace. And once the trumps have all gone, we can play our clubs and avoid any club losers. So we'll just make our 2 spades at the end and probably lose the last 2 tricks. But played that way, we should be able to make 10 tricks there. And all it needed was the normal distribution of the clubs to be either 3-3 or 4-2. And you may say, well, if they had been 3-3, we've kind of unnecessarily ruffed. And that's true, but in any case, you don't lose any club tricks. That's the best way to think about it. So if they were 3-3 or 4-2, playing the way we did, we didn't lose any clubs because we ruffed 1 round, and that way we just held the defense to 3 tricks. They made 2 hearts and a diamond, and we made 10 tricks on that one. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? So do look out for these hands with a long suit. Very often they can produce a lot of tricks. Sometimes in a suit contract, you need to ruff in order to establish that suit, or even in no trump, even if where obviously you can't ruff, but you can still set up tricks in that suit by playing on the long suit and then establishing suit by losing 1 or more tricks along the way. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. If there are no more questions about it,